everybody. This is Capitalist from JoinDota.com, and joining me now is going to be Zai, of course, from Evil Geniuses. I would call you a child wonder almost, just because, but you have the same team with Arteezy, who is another very, very young player. But you got knocked out of DreamHack yesterday. Besides that, how has your experience been for DreamHack?
It's been nice, actually. Even though we lost, getting a bit down day one, day two has actually been quite pleasant. I've been pubbing a lot. I've been, meeting people, hanging out. It's been okay, actually.
Yeah, a lot more relaxed environment now that you're already out. You could just enjoy the rest of the event. And besides, you guys already did win the summit, so I know that was a big thing. You guys just won the summit, and then you were coming in. You were like jet lagged and everything else. How big of a factor would you say? I was talking to PPD earlier. He said some people believe jet lag is not a thing. That it's just like it shouldn't affect players' performance. They don't believe it actually does anything. What are your thoughts?
To me personally, jet lag isn't that big of a factor, but I know Peter personally, and it impacts him a lot. He has to be on top, thinking, drafting, he's Dota-wise, and jet lag kind of renders him, unable to. And obviously that plays a big part in, top-tier Dota. So, jet lag is real. It exists.
So you've known PPD for quite some time, going all the way back into Han days, where you were first together. I can't remember what team I originally classed you guys, but I remember it was you, Zai, was Tralf maybe on your team? Yeah, and I remember that team, and I remember hearing how young you guys were. I was just like, oh my god, these guys are going to be like, that. At that time, Elite Dota 2 was already in the works. I was like, I bet they're going to go into Dota 2 and do great things. And sure enough, here you are. Talk about a little bit about that journey, making it not necessarily about Han, but transitioning into Dota 2. Was there anything specifically that you had to overcome?
As you begin playing Dota, when you transition in from another game, there's always this getting used to the game, getting to know the game, the feel, and all that stuff. But once you get over that phase, maybe it's like a month or so of straight pubbing and playing. It's actually not that different from other games. The main issue is competitive experience, which is entirely different from Han. Even though I have 2 years of competitive experience on Han, it's useless. To the most part, because Dota is so different played competitively. So
many people, I think one of the biggest things you're known for as being a great support player, but you always pick up, I would say interesting supports. I mean, obviously the obvious one would be the Wraith King, which I believe you were the biggest factor in bringing that into the beta, having the support Wraith King. We'll talk about that a little bit, not only just the Wraith King, but maybe other heroes that PPD has told me that you've had some ideas about, maybe some interesting support heroes that most people aren't looking for, but you've kind of got your eye on.
All right, so, basically, it's like a personality thing. I get bored with playing this, the support is like Bane, Shadow Demon, playing Dazzle, and it's really boring, so you want to just shake it up a bit. So Wraith King was the start of that. We needed a melee supporter with a stun. There's Sven, there's Ogre, Wraith King, but we found out that Wraith King works very well with other core heroes because he can just go in with the ultimate, tank every single spell. We saw the Vampire Car and stuff like that, so obviously that worked out. It's kind of fallen off though, which I'm a bit sad about. I don't get to play that often, but there are other heroes that we want to experiment with too. We haven't had that much time to practice, but we played one game of Ogre at the summit, and it worked out great. And I want to keep playing it. The ball loss buff makes it so you can use it through BKB, which is great. You can buff up we had a DK and a Luna, and it worked out wonderful. There's also heroes like Kunkka. You can actually use it as support with the new X. Mm-hmm. DK has been playing a bit, and we've been experimenting with it a bit as well. And, there's a ton of these unorthodox heroes that you can actually utilize, and I think it's fun to see, experiment with them basically, and find out what you can actually put use.
So I believe PPD told me that one of the heroes that you were kind of trying to maybe sense out to him a little bit, and he said he flat out declined it. I believe it was Ursa. Was that it? No, maybe it was a little bit more, I would say, traditional, something we've seen before. Brewmaster as a support, yes or no?
Yeah, it should work. In theory, it should work. I think Virtus Pro actually has run it quite a bit. And in theory, Brewmaster only needs a Blink Tiger because the Primus play, doesn't really benefit from items. So hopefully it'll work. I guess it seems fun to play.
What about another hero, Sven? Sven is support. We actually just got done watching Alliance run it as a carry, so bringing it back a little bit there. But Sven support?
The main thing that I think Sven hurts from is his mana cost. His song costs 140 mana, which is pretty, it's quite a lot of mana. He doesn't really have that much intelligence, and he also has another active spell in the war card. So you need a ton of mana on that hero, and you don't really want to get arcane boosts because you want like treads and auto attack stuff. But his war card is actually his probably greatest spell if you run a support. If you have a level 4, he gives 16 armor, which is it's like 2 ACs maybe. I don't know the math, but it's something like that. So if you manage to find it, find something you can put it with so it doesn't have mana issues, I think it could work out.
All right, so I've been asking a couple different pro players about this. I want to give you, maybe in your own words, describing what your thoughts on the meta. How would you describe the meta currently? Because I know a lot of teams are trying to figure out, and I know a lot of people want some input on the pros and what they think the way the meta is going and where it's going to be for TI4.
Well, right now, I think the main issue I have with this, metagame right now is to stay all first ban and first picks. There are like 4 to 6 heroes that are banned and first pick every single game. If I want to list them, it's like Tree, Enigma, Batrider, Lycan, Doom, and...
I mean, it's your fault for the tree. Let's be honest. It's EG's fault for the tree.
Yeah, I mean, that's, it's going to happen. If someone discovers something, everyone's going to use it. But anyways, those heroes are banned or first pick every single game. So you kind of have to pick them and implement them into your like strategies. But with that said, the rest is kind of up to each team. Like we've seen this Silencer. That's a good example, I think, of a pick that's recently begun to shine. I hate playing against that hero. It actually disgusts me when it gets Aghanims. Yeah. It's the most annoying thing ever. But I mean, it's incredibly strong, and I think more of those heroes are yet to be undiscovered. Like we recently see Meepo played, and that hero seems it's incredible if you can play it well. Sisling played it very well. It's up to each team to find what they're most comfortable with. But with that said, they have to include these like 5 to 6 heroes, which makes it kind of boring, I guess.
Okay, so we're gonna get away from Dota a little bit. First of all, do you know the game Marry Fuck Kill?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have actually expanded this a little bit. I played it with your guys' brothers Alliance. They had quite a good fun about it. I'm going to give it to you. Now it's Marry, Fuck, Kill, and Kick is going to be the 4th one. So your 4 teammates that you have. So Kill obviously being the most extreme, but someone's also got to get the boot.
All right. That's a tough one. I think I would kill Artur.
Okay, why is that?
Because he's in the spotlight,
the son of a bitch is always just taking all the glamour, isn't he?
Takes up all the fame and stuff. Kill Artur. I would probably marry Universe.
Okay. Why Universe? It seems Universe is one of those players who's just kind of gone through Dota history, has always kind of been in the back, always like he's never steps out to the spotlight at all. Why would you marry Universe?
He's just it's a nice and pleasant guy, And he's single too. Needs some significant others.
I like how you're thinking about the morality of this situation. Like, I don't want to take someone who's already has a girlfriend or something.
I would probably, if we move on, wait, which ones I left? I have...
you have PBD and Mason left. I mean, you could throw Fear in there if you want to replace somebody. If you're really feeling really good about Fear.
I'd fuck Fear then. And then I would... I have Mary left. No, I have Kick left. All right, I would kick... I'd kick Peter.
You kick Peter. You kick your captain.
Yeah, because I'd like to try captaining a team. So.
All right, well, I guess that's something that we can see in the future then. Zai taking over his own Dota 2 team after Evil Geniuses has won TI4 and has disbanded from there. But Zai, thanks so much for taking the time to have the interview with me, man. First, we'll give you a chance to shout out for sponsors. I know every pro player's favorite part about interviews.
Yeah. Actually, I have to look at the shirt. It's like my...
So we can zoom in on the shirt, which is Monster, HyperX, Cyberpower, PlanetSide, Razor, and BenQ. That's right, because I was talking about Alliance, and they were like, yeah, we just got new sponsors. It's hard to memorize. Okay, now what about human shout-outs? Like real people that you want to give shout-outs to.
Shout out to some people at NADota.com. Just some. The rest of some are probably like pretty cancerous, so not them. And then shout out to Corey from Team Zephyr. He's a nice guy. I like him. And then, the old friends and family events. Okay. That stuff.
All right. Well, thanks again, man. And you cancerous trolls, I guess, in Anecdota, you don't get a shout out. But guys, thanks for watching this interview. More interviews coming up. JoinDota.com.